Let's do a little fun here. Kobe, toughest defender for you?
Tony Allen. That's easy. Yeah. Tony Allen.
Really?
He was the only one that wasn't crying for help.
It was Drew Holiday, Tony Allen, and Ron Artest.
Who has been the toughest defender? Who has done the best job of shutting you down one-on-one?
It's making it tough on me. Tony Allen by far is the greatest defender I've ever played against.
Who was the biggest character on that team, on those grit and grind teams?
It's hands down is Tony Allen, man. Tony Allen. There's so many stories about that guy. And
State looks like Draymond Green called for the foul. Tony Allen just keeping his hand
Without foul.
And no foul. He just
Without foul.
Welcome back to the Give Them Roses series. Hopefully you've seen the first episode by now, and if you haven't, here's the playlist linked. But the point of this series is to focus on players that are phenomenal and look back at some of the greats in the league that are underrated and weren't captured enough by the media, and finally, give them their roses. Now I know some may already point out that this video may be in bad taste due to the fact that Tony Allen has gotten into a bit of legal trouble. But we're gonna look past that and just focus on his career on the court and his time in the NBA as a player, and how he did not get enough praise as an important part of the 2008 Celtics and the Grizzlies. Tony Allen's life started on a rough path, being born and raised in Chicago. He did a speech at a juvenile detention center telling the kids he did a lot of stupid stuff but somehow got away with it, saying, quote, "I was just thugging and doing silly stuff that I just didn't get caught doing. I guess I was clever enough because I should have been in one of these uniforms." He even dropped out of high school, but his supportive mother told him to go back where he would finish his high school degree. Afterwards, he would attend Butler Community College, and this is where his skills would already start to be shown, averaging almost 3 steals and over 6 rebounds a game, on top of his 16 points in just 32 games. This ended in him being named the Jayhawk Freshman of the Year before transferring universities. Tony Allen then went to Wabash Valley College, where he led Wabash Valley to a 36-2 record and a 4th place finish in the NCAA tournament. He was subsequently named Second Team All-Region 24. After this sophomore year, he would transfer to a Big 12 school, going to Oklahoma State, where he averaged 5.5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 15.5 points in the 2 years there. He was named Newcomer of the Year and Player of the Year, leading the team to the Final Four, as well as the first player in Cowboys history to surpass the 1,000 career point threshold in only 2 seasons. Then we finally get into his professional career. Tony Allen was drafted 25th overall to the Boston Celtics in 2004. Allen scored 20 points in just his first game and was having games with 3 or 4 steals a night. However, each game he had these numbers, the team would still ultimately lose. Now his stats were nothing to write home about at all, which is why he's overlooked. Looking at his box score, you may question why I'm making this video. Well, the box score never tells the full story, which is often the case in this series. A few seasons after he was drafted, in 2007, Tom Thibodeau would join the Celtics staff. Now why am I mentioning this? Well, a year later, the Celtics would win the 2008 championship, and the biggest factor? Defense. Now of course, when everyone thinks of the 2008 Celtics, they think of the big 3, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett, which is another reason that Tony Allen is often overlooked. But Tom Thibodeau crafted a perfect defense for this team to succeed, and Tony Allen was a part of it. In this year, Allen had the number 1 defensive rating of 99.2, while most players were 110 and above. Allen was the only one with a defensive rating under 100, with only the next 13 being under 110. Even before Tom Thibodeau, Allen had the 4th best defensive rating in his rookie year. Thibodeau was able to mold Allen and the rest of the team into defensive champion contenders. On top of this, Allen was consistent. You knew what you were getting out of him every single night. However, that also meant that his weaknesses were also consistent. For his career, Tony Allen only averaged 28% from 3 despite being a shooting guard. His free throw percentage was also only 70 for his career, while the league average of the decade was over 75. While his teammates Ray Allen and Paul Pierce averaged 40 and 36% from 3. This meant that he was often a liability on offense, only averaging 18 minutes a game, being subbed out in offensive focus plays. While in contrast, again, he had the big 3 as teammates who were dominant offensively, which further pushed him to the shadows of the team. Even if I asked you to just name any Allen on the team, most people's first choice, again, would be Ray Allen. With all these contributing factors, the championship was the only accolade and resume piece that Allen collected while in Boston after 6 seasons, despite again being the top defensive rating almost every year he was there. However, he stayed the top defensive rating in 2009 before being traded to Memphis. In 2010, Allen would be traded to the Grizzlies, where he finally was able to shine brighter. Tony Allen would join the grit and grind Grizzlies that he was the forerunner of, giving him the name the Grindfather. He would maintain the top in defensive rating this year as well, and without competing for popularity with the Big 3, Tony Allen would finally have an all-defensive team selection, starting a 6-year streak of defensive selections, with 3 first and 3 seconds, being all-defensive team with the likes of LeBron, Chris Paul, Paul George, Draymond, Kawhi, Giannis, AD, Rudy Gobert, and many others that are known for their defensive prowess. With the Grizzlies, Allen's steals per game increased from 1 to 1.7, but again, the box score doesn't even tell the full story. Tony Allen's defense continued to excel, guarding players like KD, Curry, and even Kobe, with all 3 players as well as others like Jamal Crawford stating that he was one of the hardest defenders to play against. He was also well known for his second chance points, averaging 2.1 putbacks in the 2016 season and averaging more offensive rebounds than Westbrook in his triple-double season. This increase of popularity and success moving from Boston to Memphis put him in the 6th Man of the Year and Most Improved Player ladder. However, he would ultimately fall short of the award. Many people argued for him to win Defensive Player of the Year with all of these credentials and praise from other players. However, he would also fall short of this award. Despite Allen's efforts, the Grizzlies would only go as far as the 2nd round in the playoffs in the time he was there, with the early exits further diminishing the image of his impact. Later, he would go to the Pelicans, hoping they could boost the team's defense as a veteran to develop the rest of the team. In conclusion, Tony Allen had to compete with the Big 3 while in Boston, which caused him to be highly overshadowed despite his contributions on the defensive end. This, coupled with his failures on offense, led him to not get much recognition. While in Memphis, he also had no Defensive Player of the Years or any All-Star selections. However, he was selected for all defensive teams 6 years in a row and had Kobe, KD, Curry, and other legendary players speak out about him while arguing he's one of the best perimeter defenders of all time with one of the best defensive ratings for multiple years. And for that, Tony Allen, we give you your roses. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Again, recently Tony Allen has gotten into some legal trouble, but I didn't want to touch on that in this video and instead focus on his defensive impact. Y'all seem to love this series and I like making it, so like, subscribe, share the video around, all that good stuff. We're about to hit 3K subs, and when I wrote this script before I recorded it, I put in the script that we're almost on 2K, so that proves how fast this channel is growing. I originally had the goal of 1K, but now I think we can hit 5K and maybe even 10K by the end of the year. So anyways, as always, continue to support, I really appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.